In an age of child labor laws, we've still found a way to ruin their childhood. And that seeps into adulthood and ruins our lives as adults as well. We live in a time now where supposedly the supernatural world and the natural world can't be married together. And that does irreparable damage on us. It used to be understood that there could be magic behind every corner, or that there was always something supernatural or exciting about something. There was a sense of eternity to beauty in nature, and that's all been yanked away from us. They tell us don't let the kids work, which yeah, I agree. But then when the kids go to play, they tell them they need to grow up. They can't believe in fairy tales. And then they leave anything that can't be proven without a shadow of a doubt to be called a fairy tale. There's a quote from C.S. Lewis where he says, "Since it is so likely that children will meet cruel enemies, let them at least have heard of brave knights and heroic courage. Otherwise, you are making their destiny not brighter, but darker." And what he's referring to is stories. He's referring to fairy tales. Now, fairy tales, although they aren't true, they point to something true in our heart. They point to good and evil and right and wrong. They help build up a sense of wonder and courage in children that carries on to adulthood. I know it sounds silly, but there is something in the subconscious that wants to be like our childhood hero. Now, we do have children's heroes today in our media, but those heroes are often way more shallow than old ones. The superheroes, maybe they stop crime, but there isn't as much depth to their character or their goodness as there was in older stories. The ones I can think of are Narnia or like Lord of the Rings. I mean, even Frodo, who's nervous and shy, becomes a hero in The Hobbit. Kids witness that courage of their favorite book character and they take it to heart, and it does shape how they are as an adult. Narnia was made for children ages 8 to 12. And if you look up cartoon heroes today for kids 8 to 12, you get the Teen Titans, Steven Universe, and the best one you get, the best one is Avatar. Don't get me wrong, I love Avatar The Last Airbender, but put any one of those characters up against any character out of Narnia or The Hobbit, which was written for kids, there is so much more depth in those storybooks than there is in any one of those cartoons. There's been this horrible mistake made in the last 2 centuries, that is to say anything mystical or magical is childish and should be thrown out of the window. C.S. Lewis was a professor at Oxford and at Cambridge, and he loved Norse mythology. Tolkien called Christianity the true myth, and that is one of the things that converted C.S. Lewis, because he had a longing in his heart for all these things he'd read in fantasy books and in stories and fairy tales that could be fulfilled and were made true in Christianity. All the fairy tales point to what our heart's been searching for the entire time. So go read a story, go read a fairy tale. See how it changes your view on reality. Be a kid. And in the meantime, go love your neighbor, love God, repent, believe in the good news, and God bless.